to The Mediators. I am Brody, your host, and with me today is another friend of the podcast.
Hello, my name is Brock. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're very excited for today's episode because we're going to be talking about anime, the top anime movies, and then we're going to also judge some anime shows as well to just kind of see what were people thinking. So we'll start off just right away. What's your number 5?
Well,
okay, how many do you have?
So for me, I was told it was like anime/animated. So like I actually threw in a couple like Disney ones in there.
Okay, all right, you're gonna have to make a case for that.
Yeah, but okay, but let's just talk about like my top 2 or 3 anime focus would be like Spirited Away.
Okay.
And Howl's Moving Castle. That's probably like right there, like strictly anime. That's probably my favorite 2 right there.
Okay. Yeah, no, I would say Spirited Away is definitely my favorite one out of that, like the series that he's done, or the
Ghibli's top notch.
Yeah, Nate, his favorite one is I think Howl's Moving Castle.
Howl's Moving Castle because of Troy Baker, right? Is it Troy Baker?
No, it's Christian Bale.
Is Christian Bale in there?
Yeah, it's Christian Bale.
I thought somebody else.
Oh no, Crispin Freeman plays the guy at the end.
Yeah,
he's like not in it until the very end.
Yeah, but
no, that's his favorite one.
Yep.
I like Spirited Away. I feel that the story is more. Again, I feel like it follows a better structure of the story. I think I like it. There's a personal preference for it more.
Yeah.
But that's my biggest part about anime is like sometimes the story structure is just so weird. And you're just like, why are you telling the story this way?
Yeah. I mean,
like, random flashbacks and like you don't know it's a flashback, and then you're just like, what's happening here?
It's in the mystery.
It is a mystery. I don't like the mystery sometimes. Also, some are really sad. I'll be honest.
Oh, no,
there's some depressing ones.
It is bad. Like,
oh my goodness.
Like another one that's on my list is Grave of the Fireflies. Depressing.
Man.
Depressing.
And you understand, like, he's like Miyazaki's very anti-war.
Yes.
So I understand, like, yeah, he's very much so. Like, it still cracks me up that he hates Lord of the Rings because he feels like it glorifies war.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but at the same time, it's just like, so. Grave of the Fireflies. Yeah, no, I have not seen that one.
It's pretty sad.
I'd have to work myself up to that one. I did like another one of his was The Cat Returns.
Is that the one with the cat and the top hat and all that kind of stuff?
Yes. It was very fun. Like it was unexpectedly funny.
Yeah,
I thought. And
yeah.
So it was lighthearted.
Another one that I've seen. I don't think it's Ghibli. I think it's people who worked for Ghibli and moved and did their own studio. I forget the production company was Kiki's Special Delivery Service.
Yeah. But it's part of the
Ghibli
collection.
Yeah. So like Kiki's, and then there was another one that I saw. I'm gonna have to look it up. It was on Netflix, so I feel bad for looking it up. So I apologize, but because I feel like if you have to look it up, you really it didn't make a mark in your mind.
I got you. I am gonna throw another one. So I'm gonna talk about a show real quick.
Okay.
So it's a show I think a lot of people have seen, and I'll tell you why it's my favorite here in a second. But One Punch Man. I like that one a lot.
Okay, it's good
because it plays on tropes that I already enjoy.
Yeah.
So I love the superhero genre. I mean, that's already a thing I enjoy. And then it comes in, and they just completely, like, make fun of it. Like he's invincible. Like nothing can stop. And so I love the comedy of that.
Yeah.
And so I understand. Sure, there's people have issues with it, but to me, that's probably one of my favorite animated shows that I've seen. I can't get behind a couple of the others, and we'll go over a list of some top shows according to Forbes here.
I actually have a list. Me and Nate actually have a list of the top that we've seen. And One Punch Man is good.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not saying it's like some masterpiece.
No.
I'm saying I like it better than just about any other anime I've seen.
So you know what? Let me just get that list out there for you because it's a.
Did you find your Netflix one?
I did not. I just know that it was about. It was sort of the premises of like maybe it was Kiki's Delivery Service.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Oh, I forgot about another one. Was Ponyo.
That's a good one. I mean,
it's not going to be his most renowned, but it's like
it's very kid friendly. I watched that with my 3-year-old and she loved it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I can't find it, so we're just gonna
Do you have your anime list?
Duh, I'm getting it right now.
Let's do it.
All right, so in the terms of anime,
yeah, We're just gonna straight blanket.
There are things that are groundbreaking. Let's just set the context.
Okay.
There is groundbreaking stuff that happens. You
Yeah.
can look at that with like Demon Slayer with their art styles. You can look at it with awesome fight scenes with Jujutsu Kaisen and all this different stuff. And then there's like how cohesive it is. Of course, you know, especially sub versus dub debate. We could dive into that forever. Like, I don't understand why we can't just go preference on that. You know, I get it. You feel it's more heartfelt if it's in sub, you know, with like, you know, the OG voice actors, but then like dub, it doesn't feel like they capture the emotion. I'm like, I don't get that.
What? Yeah, that's the argument?
There is a huge thing.
I understand wanting. Like, I see that more in like live action because it is the actual actor doing
prevalent.
that. But when you're doing like an animated voice,
yes,
at that point, I mean, you get a good actor and it doesn't really matter.
Well,
because anybody can voice him.
It's a big debate that the original sub, legit me and Nate have gotten into wars about this online. About sub, about how they feel like it's the original voice actors and how they portray it and how there's so much more emotion, whereas I don't feel like people understand is that when you dub something, you dub in the culture of the language. So like English, you know, the super high screaming may not be what they're wanting, but it's like it's what we as Americans would view as passion, is what we would Americans view as. Because like you look at some of the comedy aspects in sub, and like then you look at comedy shows, like comedy anime shows in dub, and the dub's just as funny because they can follow what Americans love to watch, and so they dictate it in their voice styles and all that kind of stuff. But there is a huge war and debate about sub versus dub, and it's dumb in my opinion.
I've seen that. I've heard that. It's just like
it's dumb.
You're right. It's total preference. I don't think there is a clear winner, but I'm like, if you can get.
I've heard some of the German and the French dubs. They're pretty bad. So, but
I'm saying
that's just
if
me.
You can get a good actor and like a good dub versus a good sub. Like, let's say if you get the best of both, and you're like, okay, peak dub and peak sub, like
it really doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters. Just it comes down to preference at that point. Now, obviously, right? If you have a very bad version of it, then of course the other one's gonna be better.
And I have seen some bad ones, and
and
dub really did hurt itself in the start because when like animes first hit the Western world and all that kind of stuff, especially America, like the most top voice actors weren't going to be there. It
wasn't like an actual field at that point.
Yeah. But now it's expanded, and they've seen how big it can get. So they're like, okay, we're gonna put the best of the best now, and so now we.
I
see
think
all
of like ghost stories, you know.
Yeah.
You think of like the really like famously cheesy ones, and there's like people just
Ghost Stories is hilarious.
Oh no,
there's so many offensive parts in there though.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty
I die
bad.
laughing, and I apologize, but it's funny. It's just all right. So let's dive back into the.
Okay, you got your list here. Let's
so my list. So some of this is based off of course, what we talked about, groundbreaking storyline, all stuff. The top three for me, number one is not interchangeable, unfortunately.
Okay,
it's Code Geass.
Okay,
you've never seen it.
I have not.
Code Geass, as a story, as character development, as and the premise and the powers and all that kind of stuff. It has different genres, like too. It's like, of course, it's sci-fi, but it has like has like Gungams, or like the fighting mechs and all that stuff. And then there's like different, like there's war, anti-war, class system and all that kind of stuff. Code Geass is, from beginning to end, is a complete storyline, great turns. You really need to watch it. It's a really great anime.
So you highly recommend it?
I highly recommend it. There is some fan service that I saw that was in there that I skipped, on the aspect of like,
gotcha, like
it anything that I don't like to view.
You feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable. I skip it.
I understand that.
So there's a few scenes where you're gonna skip if you don't enjoy fan service. But other than that, like, it is a great. It's a great story. Number two, very close second.
Okay.
I actually think that this one could rival Code Geass in some aspects. It's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay.
The storyline, yet again, great anime for me, has great storylines from beginning to end. Like,
I would agree.
And it connects everything. It doesn't. The pacing's not off. Like, the pacing is a big one. Like, and especially when in like anime culture, pacing is everything. Especially like even if you think about movies and all that kind of stuff, like if the pacing is drawn out for too long, like,
no, you get bored.
You're done with it. But you don't want the pacing to be too fast, because then you lose out on the character development, aka Batman versus Superman. Why are you putting Doomsday at the very end? Like, it's like, come on, you could have built up to that. But
no, I understand.
It's another topic.
Well, where do you think filler falls into that?
Okay, filler. All right, let's set this. Filler is catching up
to the
original manuscript.
Yeah.
So I actually think this, and I think the newer animes got it right. With the older animes, it was you do filler until you catch up to the manga. Until catch up. Yeah. The newer ones are saying we're going to take a year or two break until it catches up to where when you view it, it's the storyline is all canon. The storyline's good, and it also gives you time to build up your production quality so that you're not having to spend unnecessary money in that regards. Which streaming services has very helped out that because back in the day with the DBZ, of course, Dragon Ball, Naruto, all that kind of stuff, you had a weekly time slot on a TV show, and that's how you made your money, was by putting out episodes every single week. Now with streaming services, you can take that break and make a big release and all that kind of stuff.
I think you're right. I think if you can take the time and do it right, that's more important than just throwing stuff out there.
Now there are good filler arcs, and you can tell when they put a whole lot more effort into it. But like even some of the companies, like for example, Naruto Shippuden, which is my number 3. Naruto Shippuden is number 3. When you look at it, you can tell certain filler have higher quality while certain filler have different. And what they do is that for certain fillers, they're not going to use their best animated studio, like their best animated studio or production company during the fillers, because you're paying millions of dollars just for it to be nothing. So they're going to hire out cheaper production studios to do everything. So I mean, filler is okay, but now with everything that we've got going on, so just take the break.
Does filler leave like a bad taste in your mouth, I guess, as well? And so when you hear the word filler, you just immediately like, oh, great.
Yes and no. Certain shows have good fillers.
What's a show that has a good filler?
Okay, well, for example, in Naruto Shippuden, there's a couple of filler points where it dives into storylines of building a character development, even though it's not canon and all that kind of stuff. It's another cool thing that dives into characters that you want to see, or like it puts them in scenarios that you want to see.
Okay.
Whereas like but filler does put a bad taste in my mouth, because at the end of the day, it's not true. Like none of that happened. It's not canon. Yeah, it's not canon. So it's like you can have this cool fight scene, but it's like it's not really. It didn't matter. It's like so it's a catch-22 in my opinion.
I can see that. Yeah, nothing bothers me more than something happening and then it's like all a dream.
Yeah.
Like and you're just like, why did I? It's almost like you're right. It's a waste of time at that point.
So do you hate the Matrix and all that?
Well, it wasn't a dream.
No, I'm kidding. Bedtime stories. You hate bedtime stories?
I have not seen it, but I've heard of it and I've seen a clip of it. The big fight in Twilight, where it was all like a premonition.
I saw that in the theaters.
Yeah, I did not. I did not. But I heard about it online. So I was like, I watched it. I was like, wow, that would
gotta hope
suck.
Nobody watches this because it's my mom. All right, she wanted to go
Brock
watch it.
Watches.
I'm a
Twilight
mama's boy.
In theaters.
I'm a mama's boy. All right. If Mama wanted me to go see it, I was gonna go see it with her.
Man.
And if your mom would have wanted to go see it too back in the day, you would have went and saw it with her too, right?
Yeah, but she wanted to go see the Avengers and stuff.
Well,
that's what we went to see.
Yeah. Well, I still saw the Avengers. All right, forget y'all.
Man, all right, but that's an example of something like or and it just that kind of stuff. It feels cheap, and I feel like it cheapens the story.
Unless it is a part of, like, for example, Inception. Like dreams on top of dreams.
But that's not the same thing.
I get it, but it's like, it's the play on reality. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yes.
Even in Inception, the dreams actually still happen.
Yes.
In like shows where like, oh, it's all a dream.
If you die in the dream, you're still dead, right?
Yeah, but none of it matters. Like, oh, they were dreaming the entire time about this happened. I think of Phineas and Ferb. There's a whole episode where Candace finally gets her brothers in trouble, and then you find it's a whole dream. It's like, I get it, but at the same time, it's just like, really?
Phineas and Ferb will never be caught.
Oh man, no, that's a great show. Top anime right there.
Yep.
I will throw out one that is not quite anime.
Okay.
But I will see where you think it ranks on this. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
Because there's a debate. There's an argument that it could be considered anime.
Yeah. You can't. Okay. It in my opinion, you could classify it as anime, but people are not, and pretty much that's how it is. Avatar, come on, it's up there. Like, come on, like it's number one. If we're gonna say cartoon, yes, cartoon is probably one of the best cartoons.
So what to you draws the line between an anime and a cartoon?
Man, and that's a debate in itself.
I'm to you.
Definitely originated in Eastern, in Japan, all that kind of stuff. Definitely production companies produced it, like, in there, and then it gets dubbed or vice versa.
It's a look that does it?
Okay, so, all right, technically, Star Wars Rebels. Not Rebels. Why am I blanking right now?
Visions?
Visions, yeah. Visions, that's anime. Because it is of the production companies over there across the seas, you know? So, I don't know. Like,
because I look at
that really is a blurred line.
Korra had the studio was over in Korea.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it was not.
Yeah, but all my homies don't like Korra.
It grows on you. It does. It's just it was a tonal shift from the first series. I think there's redemptive qualities.
Ang quality, or sorry, Ang's Ang supreme.
Man, I don't think anybody.
What's the words there? Stan. I'm an Ang stan.
You're angsty.
Yeah. I get anxiety.
Oh man. So I'm gonna go through the Forbes list now,
all right,
and we're gonna see what Forbes say is. Now, again, we're just gonna look at the top 5.
I can already probably guess a couple.
I want to see if you can. So Steins Gate is number 5.
Oh, Steins Gate is really good.
Okay, so you've heard of it.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen episodes. I haven't really dove into it, but Steins Gate is really good.
Okay.
I do like Steins Gate.
All right.
It's not my top 5, but yes.
Okay. Full Metal Alchemist, the whole thing, not the either or both.
Okay, so let's dive into that.
Yeah.
Because
it's number 4.
Because we're talking about filler versus canon stuff.
Yeah.
The difference between Brotherhood and the original Full Metal Alchemist is that Full Metal Alchemist, which was the manga, right? Oh, and that could be another reason for anime too. Is that it's an adaptation of a manga, of like original set piece. And I don't know.
Is that always true though?
Sorta, maybe not. I don't know.
Okay.
But for sure, like I don't know if like Avatar has manga or anything like that. But like Naruto was born off of Shonen Jump. But like the Shonen Jumps, like you gotta think of all the different things. Manga is the original, like transcript, and then you take it and you move it over to anime. So that could be another factor that we would have to look into.
I can see that
with that. So,
all right.
But back to Full Metal Alchemist, the difference between Brotherhood and Full Metal Alchemist is that when they did FMA, I'm gonna call them FMA and FMAB. Yeah. Is that the original manga wasn't done, and so they had to finish their own ending, whereas Brotherhood completed. It was canon for it was like word for word everything, not word for word, but like everything that the manga had entailed. So I actually think Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is better than Fullmetal Alchemist, but they're both really good. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, when it says Fullmetal, it considers both of those on that list.
That's true.
All right.
I know Dragon Ball's gonna be on this list.
Number 3, Samurai Champloo.
Shampoo. Yeah.
Shampoo.
Yeah. Really good. I haven't seen it. I love the art style though.
Okay.
The style is really good. The soundtrack's really good.
All right.
Really good.
Number 2, Darker Than Black.
I don't know if I've seen that one. I don't know if I've even. I have to look it up.
And you call yourself an anime fan.
Forbes.
Darker Than Black.
Darker Than Black. Oh. No, I've never seen this one. No.
Well, it's number 2 on Forbes. You want to know what number 1 is?
What is it?
Attack on Titan.
Okay. Popularity and how big it had into the Western world.
I don't understand why it's so popular. I'm going to be honest. I do not get that.
Because it went there.
The blood and the violence,
the gore. I feel like it went there, and it was really good about. There was tons of mystery behind it.
Okay, yeah.
Getting because you've seen it all, and I'm not gonna spoil
Up
anything.
until the current.
Yeah, I've read it all.
Yeah,
so yeah.
I don't mind.
So
it's not my favorite.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but even like season 2 or season 3, you don't know what these things are, and so and so the mystery builds behind that. It's like, what in the world is that? And then when you figure it out, then the plot even thickens because it becomes a class system, and even in the beginning it's a class system because outer, inner, closer. But then you even see that it's even a bigger class system of the two different nations. That spoils something, but it doesn't spoil anything at the same time. And then you start learning about the agents and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not going to dive into it because I don't like to spoil unless. Hey, spoiler warning. Skip until Brody's going to pop up on the screen or something.
just you can just wait, finish the show, and then come back and finish this episode.
So the mystery behind everything, and then all of a sudden when you start seeing Bertolt, Annie, and Reiner all change and all that stuff, and you're like, oh crap, and then plus like they're leading you on this journey. That's why I feel like it got why it got to where it was. The storyline's very good in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't like the ending. Oh, I think the ending's mid. It's mid.
What don't you like about the ending?
It's a cop out.
You think so?
Two things.
You can say I don't. You're good to say whatever.
Have you? Okay,
no, it does not bother me.
Okay, so pretty much it's like a cop out.
Okay.
Like I feel like they could have written a little bit better where like Aaron sacrifices himself for everybody. He does all the passing and stuff, and he turns into a bird. and
that screams anime to me.
Not a bird, but like it's
a symbolism.
Symbolism and like where I feel like
the spirit went.
Where I feel like he could have written it a little bit better. Maybe had it to where he survived. I don't know. I feel like the ending was mid, which I haven't read it in a while, so I need to reread it if I want to do that. But I feel like it was mid compared to all the different intricate turns and all that kind of stuff that it had. It just felt like,
here it is.
He died. There you go. His spirit lives on.
Yeah, I feel like that's what most anime I watch, I feel like can be very cheesy.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like you're watching, you're like, oh okay. Like if it had been done in like America, people would be like,
what?
Why?
What is this?
It would have been getting ripped apart. But I feel like there's a different level. There's a different, classification at that point of it.
I actually say FMAB is on top of AOT. In my opinion, Attack on Titan. I think that.
So you don't agree with Forbes, is what you're saying?
I don't agree with
Forbes. I honestly don't either.
I don't agree with it.
Yeah, Naruto was like way down farther on that one.
What was?
Was it Naruto?
Yeah. Naruto, yeah. Shippuden and all stuff, yeah.
It was lower down on the list.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it has tons of filler in it. So I get it. Why they wouldn't want that. AOT is great. It'll go down as probably top 5 anime of all time.
Okay, I mean,
which in my list is, Nate has it at 4. I have it at 5. For me, I like Hunter x Hunter better, but that's just my preference. And the reason why is if AOT, because me and him were updating this as we were going and all that kind of stuff. AOT was always number 2 compared to Code Geass until the ending, and then
it dropped way down.
It dropped 2 spots, but that's about it.
That's pretty far.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's not. I'm not mad at it, but you fumbled the bag at the end.
No, I definitely understand that.
And that's where I would say that they fumbled. Now, here's another good topic that we could dive into is new style versus old style anime.
Okay.
And where it ranks.
What do you mean with that? I guess?
Okay, so once we get past the big 3, the new big 3 is what I'm talking about. Like, the old big 3 would be, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z are considered like the OGs. Like, okay, even if we wanted to dive into the very beginning, Speed Racer would technically be the great-great-great-grandfather of all anime. But if we're going to talk about the grandfather of all anime, it's going to be like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, all that kind of stuff. once we get past, which they still are making One Piece.
Okay.
But your big three are Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto, and those are the big three technically. From that spawned a different style. Whereas you have Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, and My Hero Academia, and all the other newer style animes that they have.
Okay.
The newer style, Demon Slayer, I love Jujutsu Kaisen better, but Demon Slayer, their biggest niche and their biggest thing that they do is that they make their art style very vibrant and very elaborate. Like they put money into their art style. And so back to my animated movies list,
Yeah.
I have Demon Slayer Mugen Train on there because the art style, like everything HD, like it's 4K, it looks like when you watch it, it looks really good. Like the fight scenes in there are really good too. Even with JJK, it's still great scenes, all that kind of stuff, but the difference between new anime and old anime,
Yeah, I was gonna boil it down here. What do you mean?
will always go down as like, do you prefer the newer art style or do you prefer the older art style where everything isn't as vibrant but it's
Richer, maybe?
it's richer, whereas then like the newer art style, that's what they hinge everything on, is how good it is.
I almost look at that as like film versus digital at that point.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think there's a spot for each.
Yeah.
One thing that I really liked about Ghibli films is like the rich like backgrounds and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you can bring in, and I think you're right, money has a big part of that.
Yes.
If you can bring in vibrant backgrounds where it feels alive rather than flat,
Yeah.
I think that's the more important thing. So I don't know if that falls into new or old style exactly.
It's both because because certain older animes do have the rich, vibrant.
Yeah.
But now it seems like everything is top notch. Animation is going to be top notch.
It's just because it's like more crisp.
It's more crisp. It's not like, it feels more fluid. You know, whereas the older ones,
smoother animation.
Yeah, and also, if you notice, old cartoons and even like old animes and all that kind of stuff, they recycle a lot of frames.
Oh yeah.
If you really think about it, whereas this newer one, yeah, they may recycle a frame here and there, but it feels original. Like it feels like it's more fluid and there's more to offer.
Do you think it's because it's easier now, or why do you think that is?
I think it's because it becomes so much more popular and money has flooded the market.
And maybe people who grew up with it are now, like, that's the career path that they went down. Mm-hmm. So there's a passion that was there that maybe is more mainstream than before.
Yeah, and of course with film, like, not film, but like even with production companies, like, you see how the advancements and everything that they've made. Like, and it really does depend on the production company as well. Like, for real. Because like different production companies have different art styles, and that's just what boils down to it. The newer ones that have made like your Demon Slayers and your Jujutsu Kaisen and all that stuff are like the more innovative kind. Whereas you look at even the Western world, like film production companies and stuff, you can tell when there's
a quality drop.
Yeah, definitely big quality drop.
Oh yeah, and that's what we talked about last time with the CGI.
Oh yeah.
A lot of it comes from like, okay, is there actually money being put into it, and like the time and resources that you need for it.
That's true.
So that does play a big part of it, I think.
Yeah. Forbes list is crap though. I'm just gonna be honest really quick.
Forbes, you got nothing.
It's personal bias though, probably.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps up today's episode.
I think it does.
Thank you so much for joining us. Again, like and review and rate and all that fun stuff. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.